Hello financial investors and welcome to the channel. My name is Brent and today we are doing a follow-up video of a recharacterization that was done on the M1 Finance account between the IRA and the Roth IRA for 2019. So I made a video about 2 weeks ago of how I had made an accident making an IRA account instead of a Roth IRA. This was done a while back in 2019. I just did not want to correct the issue because I had lots of things kind of going on at the time. But during this downturn, I wanted to reach out to M1 Finance and get this corrected as we're going into calendar year 2020. So what we're going to do is kind of go over the summary of the processes that took place between the communication between M1 Finance and then also what I had to do in order to kind of poke them a little bit to kind of get this process going. So if anybody else goes through this in the future on the platform, they can kind of know, to kind of get their process moving a bit quicker. So without further ado, if you are brand new to my channel, have not yet subscribed, would appreciate if you go down below, hit the red button to subscribe to the channel. If you do enjoy this video, find it helpful, hit the thumbs up. And if you have any comments or questions at any time going over this video, the stock market, dividends, personal finance, or M1 Finance, or any other questions out there, drop it into the comment section below. I will read and reply to your comments, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So taking a look at the portfolio, I just logged in here, and we're going to go ahead and flip over to the IRA. Now, right off the bat, I reached out to M1 Finance and said, hey, I had initially deposited some funds into an IRA account early in 2019. That was a mistake. I would like to recharacterize them for Roth IRA for 2019. They just asked me a couple of questions. I let them know that I had not deferred the funds on my taxes for 2019, meaning that if you invest in an IRA or a 401k and on your taxes you claim it, you're able to defer and pay less taxes because you've invested. You don't have to pay taxes on the invested capital, because that's being deferred until after. It's 15.5 for the IRA. I believe it's also 15.5 for the 401k, but you don't pay taxes now on the capital contributions and you pay taxes later. The process that I wanted to do now was invest in a Roth IRA where I pay taxes currently in my tax bracket, and later on I don't have to pay taxes at all after 15.5 as I'm withdrawing all the dividends, capital appreciation, and such in the future. So that's the whole process behind it there. Now, I reached out to M1 Finance about a week or two ago, letting them know that I would like to, it was 2 weeks ago, I let them know that I would like to recharacterize my deposit. And if we go into the funding history on this account, I initially deposited $560 for 2019. And here in the account, we can see here that back in July 24th, 2019, we deposited $500. When I initially set this account up for myself, this was prior to my wife's account. I was very new on M1 Finance. I had opened up an account, accidentally opened up an IRA, and I had just never used it. So when I went to go fund this account, it was the only account available, and I just funded it and continued to fund it, knowing that I could probably correct this issue later on when I had more time. So that's what I kind of did here in early 2020, just kind of correcting the issue. And during the time frame of 2019, we did receive some dividends from both our funds of SPLV at the time, SPLV and SPHD, which we sold out of and moved into only SPLV. So during this process here, we did receive some dividends. Now on the broker's end, it's really easy for them to just say that instead of depositing $1,000 into your IRA and $5,000 into your Roth IRA for a total of $6,000, that they just said, okay, you deposited $6,000 into a Roth IRA. We don't have to give you any sort of tax information to give to the IRS. But while you are doing your taxes, I noticed on my TurboTax, as I was doing my personal taxes for 2019, it asked me a question if I hadn't made any contributions for an IRA. I did select yes. I put in my contributions there of $560. And the next question was, did I recharacterize any of my deposits in 2019 from the IRA? And I selected yes. I recharacterized the total amount of $560, and it was moved into a Roth IRA. That way, on my taxes, I didn't defer anything. I still paid taxes, on the income that I received, and I don't pay any less taxes there. So that whole issue there was kind of resolved. Now, I reached out to M1 Finance and let them know that I wanted to do this whole process. They told me that I had to go into the account and sell out of my positions during this process before they could move my funds. So I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot here because this is going to play into a part here in a little bit. So this is prior to the big uprising that we've had recently. Last week the market was up over 10%. Tuesday the market's up another 3%. So I missed a good 13 or so percent return during this whole process. So there's really no way to time this whole process. I really want to just kind of get it done and get it over with. So there's no sort of timing in this, but I did pick the worst time out there to do this because as I sold and moved the funds over, the market shot up by over 10%. So there we are with our one sell. If we move over into the Roth IRA here, we can see here that we do have $448.40 that was moved and invested into this account. So here I sold off $439.29. Here we invested $448.40. The difference there is about, I think it was $10.11 of change. So if we bust out our handy dandy calculator and move this over, 448.40 minus 438.29 is $10.11. And that $10.11 is how much dividends the IRA had been paid out. I just had not reinvested those dividends because at the time, while all these were adding up, they never met the minimum threshold that M1 needed of $10 in order to be reinvested into the account. So when I transferred all the equity over, it transferred over the $438.29 of equity that I had sold out of SPLV and the $10.11 of dividends that had been paid out in the account for 2019 for a total of $448.40. So you can see here that my buy here is now buying $448.40, and now I can go ahead and bring this up here and I'll show you the differences here because when you sell because you think the market is for whatever reason, sometimes it's better just to stay invested in the long term. But this process here, I did want to sell and move into a Roth IRA for the long term. So I'm just kind of showing you some of the differences that I can make. So here is $438 of equity that held 9.7 shares. Now here's $448 of equity, and this was only able to buy me roughly 8.7 shares. So there's a good, 1 share difference there, and these share prices are about $51. So during this whole process of selling out of the positions here, I lost roughly 1 share of value, which is about $51.53 of just market gain. So, $50 isn't too much in the long term. It'll kind of get blown over, but I will not be able to get those shares back, which will be paying dividends in the future. And the history of the IRA did not move over into the Roth IRA. So that I will like to see how that kind of plays out in the future, if it'll even play out, because everything is now underneath the Roth IRA. So if we move over into the portfolio now, we can kind of see here that the portfolio value is now about $6,521.49. This account is not showing the loss from the IRA that was moved over, so these sort of losses and gains here and percentage differences aren't going to show exact. I'm not sure if this will ever be corrected in the future just because of the process that was taken here. The net cash flow, meaning just how much cash has been invested in this portfolio, is showing incorrectly. It should be the $7,000 because we initially funded this, 2019. This should be $6,000 now, and then we deposited an additional $1,000 here in 2020 for a total contribution of $7,000. But that's showing just a little bit off there. And in order to kind of get this whole process fixed and corrected, I did have to reach out to M1 Finance multiple times. Initially, 2 weeks ago when I did start my ticket, the support had reached back out really quickly, letting me know that my case is getting handled. I had to sell out of the position. Then they would move me into, they would move the equity into the Roth IRA. That was done on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. The whole last week, I had no response from them. I reached out to them on Monday. I reached out to them on Wednesday, asking what the status was of the ticket. It wasn't until I went back onto the portfolio, clicked on help, and went down into the recharacterization and open up a second ticket. That way they would contact me again. I referenced the past ticket. I moved the email notification on my desktop and kind of shared it with them, letting them know the past chatter, and had let them know. And they reached out to me, within the next day on Monday, which was just yesterday, letting me know that within 1 or 2 business days, the funds should get 100% transferred from the IRA to the Roth IRA. So here we are on Tuesday, taking a look at the account, and there is the buy April 14th, 2020. The equity had been moved over into the account. This is going to be like an autopilot account. I'm not going to be messing too much with this one or really kind of watching this one. This is the way I kind of wanted to set this account up. I don't have to watch it. That's what my other accounts are for, to kind of have fun, invested in single stock positions. But a lot of my 401k, this Roth IRA, my Roth IRA, and some of my other accounts, they're more automated. They're just in ETFs. They reinvest or drip dividend reinvestment programs within them, so they just kind of buy back more shares regardless of where the market's at. And we can see here that the activity since the time that this account was opened back in March 2nd, 2020, it has made roughly $13.70 of dividends and has reinvested $13.69 of those dividends back into the account. And I did update the spreadsheet with the current share value. So if we go into the holdings, we own $126.26 shares, 126.26311 shares, with a cost basis of $6,902.09 there. And this is all sort of updated here on the spreadsheet, showing the current annual income of this portfolio to be roughly $176.77. And the portfolio yield on this account is pretty low compared to the other Roth IRA account that my wife holds. Her portfolio yield is around 4.6, 4.7 yield, and this may increase as we build this, reinvest the dividends, and they increase the dividend payout in the future. But for the time being, it is sitting at a 2.53, producing roughly $176.70 on a yearly basis, or roughly $14.73 in dividend income every month. And this goes ex-dividend right around the 18th and 24th of every month, and then it pays out on the last week of the month, usually around the 30th or 31st. It pays out every month. Just a nice little one to kind of buy and hold. And we can see down here towards the bottom the buys and sells that I have done within the portfolio. I didn't mark the sell of the one from the IRA, but I did mark the buy here. So maybe I'll put that in there as a sell. But for the time being, that is the way that is tracking. So that is basically an update on the recharacterization of the IRA to the Roth IRA for 2019. The process has been completed. I did have to reach out to the support a few times to kind of bump them in order to get this process done. So if you are going through the same process here in 2019 or in the future, make a ticket with them. Hopefully they do it within 1 or 2 days. If they don't get back to you within 1 or 2 days that the process has started, go back in here, click on your help, click on your recharacterization or any other issue that you're having an issue with, open up a ticket, reference your past ticket, and that usually gets them to be more active on your case. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. If you guys have enjoyed this video, definitely hit the subscribe button below. If you have any comments or questions going over this process or some other elements of M1 Finance, drop it into the comment section below. And if you have any other questions, also drop those into the comment section as well. If you did enjoy this video, find it helpful, entertaining, give it a thumbs up, and that is it. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.